out you want more than friends. You want him to try again. What did you think I would do? Baby, I'm not thinking of you. You told me you wanted to start. Yeah, you said that we grown apart. It took no time getting through. I guess I love myself more than you. More than you. See, you made a mistake, that's what you get. I'm not gonna put up with your shit. You made your bed, now lay in it. You're a hypocrite. Thought I would lie and wait, but baby, it's too late. Since you said we were through, I do what I wanna do. Yeah, and I'm tired of wasting my time. Please take this as a sign. We are meant to be. Yeah, baby, it's time that you set me free. Yeah, set me free. See, you made a mistake, that's what you get. I'm not gonna put up with your shit. You made your bed, now lay in it. You're a hypocrite. Ooh, you gotta deal with the consequences. Stop making false pretenses. 'Cause I've come to my senses now. And even if you speak the truth, I don't believe you. You're gonna have to let me go somehow. Say you made a mistake, that's what you get. But I'm tired of your shit, baby. It's time that you let me. You're a hypocrite.
Bam! Check out those vocals right there. And we are back with the Bakersfield Underground, The Bug, and we're joined over here by CatBox. We got Cristin and Medka over here, right? Welcome you guys to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn up my headphones just a little bit. You're good on yours still? All right.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, you just heard Hypocrite off of the new album Demons, right?
Yes.
You get really deep on this one. There's a lot of story behind this album right here, right?
There is actually.
There is, yeah. I've been listening to the rest of your albums, your previous albums, and yeah, you can tell like there's been a growth, right? You got some happy songs, you got some sad songs, and then we ended up where we're at on the final album, on the new album right here. But can you let everybody know where we can find you guys on social media? That's your camera right there.
Yeah, so we're on Instagram at catbox.music. We're also on Facebook and TikTok as well, although not as frequently.
Nobody does those.
Right?
We got one too, yeah.
One of those things where, like, I think since I'm millennial,
All right.
I gravitate toward Instagram.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, that's just where it's at.
I think so.
But you gotta have the name too, right? Or else somebody else is gonna take it and do whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We, I remember when Jaren and I first started talking about band names way back. One of the things when I threw out CatBox that he started digging into was like whether a domain even existed for
That is true.
for, like,
Yeah, because everything is taken now too.
Yeah, well, and you have to pay for it.
That
too.
is true. Yeah.
And so, luckily, it seemed like there was something similar to that was just not used very often.
All right.
And so he told me, he's like, yeah, CatBox that's a good one. Let's do it.
It's as simple as that then, right?
Well, yes and no. There's more story behind that. CatBox came to me because in Bakersfield, there's in your backyard, right? It's like dry, it's dusty. There, I mean, unless you pump a lot of water into it,
Which nobody does now. Yeah.
Well, some people still do, but but because of that, it's like perfect conditions for neighborhood cats. And so, like, the whole joke came from like Jaren and I talking about how our our backyards are just giant cat boxes.
Pretty much. Yeah. That is funny how that's how the name came about. Hey, people spend years trying to find the perfect name for it, right? But you just came up with it just like that, huh? It only makes sense.
Serendipity, I guess.
That is hilarious. Medka, where can we find you on social media? That's your camera right there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I didn't forget about you.
No, it's all good. Well, I also, I will say that I will argue against the millennial thing. I was born in 1982.
Hey, we're pretty close.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was not a word until maybe I found out about maybe 2013 or something. I don't know. I used
Back in the 200s and 13s?
213s, a long time ago. Before the interwebs and everything. No, but the thing about it is, I would say, my parents always said we're Generation Y because we always ask why. And I don't know what happened to that, but so I would say being a millennial or Generation Y, not really Generation X.
Yeah.
Instagram. I love Instagram.
That's where everybody's at. Yeah.
So my handle on Instagram is Bakersfield Vintage Music, and you could find me there. So.
Yeah, we follow each other.
Yes, we do. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for sure. I love the show. It's awesome. You guys are all really cool guys. So
thank you for
shout out to you because not a lot of people are doing this, and you guys support a lot of local vendors, artists, and I think that's really cool. And
thank you for
I
that.
really appreciate that myself, and that's why I love following you guys. So
thank you.
Lots of cool stuff, and lots of characters, and
He's looking at Cadillac over there. I'm pretty sure you saw your video.
We saw it. Was good.
You saw that? Oh man!
Stuff, so yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, it's fun. So
it's cool.
But yeah, that's where I live on social media. I don't really have anything else, and anyone feel free to message me, hit me up there, and
definitely.
You could always we were talking about a gentleman named Jaron. I'll just bring that up because he's not here in Bakersfield tonight. He's actually there in Minnesota. And,
all right.
Hey, Jaron. So yeah, but
shout out over Minnesota.
He was he's a really good friend and one of the original founding members of CatBox, and
nice.
he would be here at the interview if he was in the state. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's listening, right?
He's listening. He'll be listening. He'll be probably watching and listening.
Hell yeah.
Mostly probably listening because he's a busy guy, and I can imagine him listening versus just watching and listening. So.
He's always on the go, huh?
Always on the go.
I feel that. Yeah. Sometimes I don't have time to watch videos. I'll just put a podcast on and let's go,
Yeah, absolutely.
Also not here tonight is Fernando Montoya.
Fernando, yeah, that's true.
And he's also in the band, but he's out doing other gigs.
He's busy too, yeah.
He has a life.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a music life. He's in
quite
a few bands.
I know of him, yeah.
Yes, he's cooking. So, yeah, he had to drop out tonight. He couldn't make it. Just all in the name of being a good, studious musician. And,
of course, that's what you got to do what you got to do. So, Fernando, hey, man, I see you there. No, that is cool. What got you into music? What was the one thing that sparked that music bug? Has it always been around you, or like how did we get started in it?
I feel like there is not one answer to this question, to be fair. The very start, I went to church with my family.
All right.
I went to Church of Christ, which they don't prefer to have instruments in the church.
Oh, so are we clapping, tambourines, or what are we doing?
None of that.
Not even that.
It's all a cappella music.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically, a guy walks up to the front. He's got a pitch pipe. He says, "Turn to page 348."
And you can hear all the pages in the whole.
Exactly. Everybody opens it up, and gets the pitch pipe out, and then everybody.
That's the note that everybody has to sing by. Okay.
So as a kid, as you can imagine, church is not the most entertaining place.
Tell me I grew up in church too. Yeah, so I get it. Yeah.
So that was the part I remember looking forward to the most in that circumstance. And so I found myself gravitating toward the alto parts.
All right.
And then that was trying to it was like a puzzle, figuring out reading the music, right, as you're going along, and all you have is just listening to whoever is singing beside you, which by the way might be very inaccurately not very off key.
He can throw you off. Yeah.
But I don't know. I would say my earliest general interest, I suppose, was sparked in that particular environment.
That's interesting. You know, because later on you do appreciate that kind of music as well, right? Because you got to have that ear for music that you could only really get in church, really, right? Because you're surrounded by that. Yeah, I was the church I went to. We had live instruments. You know, that's when they got me into playing instruments. Totally. You know, so but it's good to be involved, right? It's good to be involved, and I always look forward to. I remember, just like you said, I was looking forward to going to church just because I got to play instruments. You know, but I can imagine like singing. I did a little bit of singing. I don't have that singing voice anymore, but yeah, I love that about church. You know, I wonder, do they still do that in church though, right? Without any instruments, they still just straight worship.
I'm sure they still do it to this day.
There you go.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Traditional music. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
And that within that church, anyways. I'm certain. Are you talking about from where you grew up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm originally from Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. So when did you move out here to Bakersfield?
2019. It was right before the pandemic, and super interesting because of that. Because like it was an extra. We were only here like 6 months before the pandemic, and like things shut down.
Oh man!
So it was like a really delayed like meeting people, making friends. You know, because the whole world was weird. So it's been kind of fun to sort of, for lack of a better phrase, like come back with a vengeance with that, because I feel like I feel like I've made a lot of really cool friends just in the music community.
Oh man, there's so many people out here. It's crazy.
It's so fun to see how people choose to like let that creative outlet go, you know? Yeah. Like, and you know, folks that were starting to do open mics at the same time as me, like Jody Ray, and Shantice Marie,
Jody, Shantice, shout out Shantice,
We were all out at open mics together, you know, and kind of, I guess, starting the journey, right?
So and were you doing like the songbox, the soundbox, right?
The songwriter soapbox.
There you go.
It's been a while, but yes, did that, and there were other open mics at like what used to be 18th Street Grill.
Oh, yeah.
Dagny's.
There you go.
Bakersfield Sound Company, which I think they still do some. So it was fun to see folks on a semi-regular basis performing their own original music. Yeah. But then also like watching them evolve in their journey, like while you're also on your own journey, which is completely different, right? Yeah. But there's so many ways that you can like be creative with music.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah.
That then it was fun to see that like come around and be like, whoa, like I remember Shantice adding in like a pedal which gave her harmony on certain parts, like vocal harmony. And just thinking like, oh my God, like that adds
that unlocks
so
a whole, it does,
Well, and it's, you know, you do that for yourself too, for your own creative outlets, because I've been messing with pedals too. But like I said, it's so fun to see other people and be so proud of them.
Damn, there you go.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they got albums out now. You know, it's crazy.
Crazy.
That's true too.
Hell yeah. I really do dig the songwriter soapbox because, you know, you get to go over there and see different artists. Like you said, you get to meet. We actually took the Bug live there. How many months ago? A couple months ago?
It was the 2-year anniversary, right?
We were there live. I got to meet all these artists that I've only heard their music through their albums. And now I get to talk to them and actually get to, you know what I mean? Dive into lyrics and everything. That was a fun event right there.
Yeah.
Cool. You do a lot of like post interviews, I think.
We're always doing something. Yeah. But I'm always looking like I get excited with this whole music thing too. You know what I mean? Because I listen to everybody, just like your guys' albums. I'm listening to lyrics, and I just can't wait to come and ask you the questions behind these wonderful tracks. You know what I mean? Definitely. And so that's cool. So Medka, what got you into music?
Oh, that's like Cristin said. That's kind of like a broad answer in a sense, but I will say that I've always liked music. No one in my family really does music. I've always kept with it. Yeah.
So you were the first then?
Yeah, definitely. And my brother and sister tried music a little bit, but it didn't stick. Of course, they like music and everything, but yeah, I just kept playing it. I played I was a trumpet player for a long time. That's what I did.
Oh, nice. Trumpet,
I started in 5th grade and through college. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's part of my love of music. I would say more so my dad. He was a very influential person in music because he always had the record player going.
Oh man, I love that.
Always, just like, you know, all sorts of stuff.
What kind of music were you listening? Take me in there, man.
He listened to a lot of music, which was really cool. We listened to everything from like Neil Young, Supertramp, Allman Brothers, all the way
Some
up
good
to,
music
like,
right there, yeah.
I mean, we listened to like Robert Palmer, Linda Ronstadt. I love Linda Ronstadt. Just a lot of different varieties. I mean, a lot of old stuff too. Little Richard, Chuck Berry, some cool records that he had, and I always listen to that.
It's a variety of music right there.
A lot of variety. Yeah,
that's cool right there.
Yeah. He bought me a book to play with trumpet, and it was songs like At the Hop and Rockin' Robin and songs.
You're like,
from,
oh,
like,
I
the
can get
50s.
down now.
Yeah, I said, play like, oh, listen to this. This is cool. Like I play what they're doing on the thing. So yeah, on the record. So. Yeah, and the records were kind of tough because they were always out of tune a little bit, but it was fun. I always play along with that. And
that's dope right there.
Showed me my all-time #1 favorite movie ever, which is The Blues Brothers. So
The Blues Brothers, all right, it's a really good movie right there. Yeah, all music too.
All music, all dancing, all fun, a lot of laughter.
It's everything all in one. Yeah,
you have evil people in there that get crushed. It's pretty cool. I mean, so it's fun. Not literally crushed. But they get steamrolled.
Hey, that movie goes hard still to this day, man. That thing is dope.
It is. It's dope. It's a timeless movie, and so that's kind of where I come from with music, and of course, getting into music, I still just always am listening to music, playing music, trying to find. Like you guys, like searching for local music that sounds great and awesome, and being a part of it. That's just all my passion, and just rolling with that. So. But that's where that was the genesis, was being at that young age, and that's where.
Oh, you started hella young, then.
Yeah, that's
trumpet, huh?
Trumpet, man. That was my main instrument for a long time, and it's funny because like I grew up in a very rural area, very small area, and we had elementary school, and then junior high school, 7th, 8th grade, and then high school, and. Yeah, I just managed to stick with the trumpet through those, and I did play a couple other instruments like sousaphone and tuba and some other things as the bands needed. There's no one to do this instrument. Well, you could do it, Medka. Okay, cool. And
shit, I'm there,
whatever. So I'll give it a shot.
Did you ever make first chair? Is that what it's called, first chair?
So yeah, I mean, you that is technically in orchestra or even jazz band. There's chairs, and first chair is the primary chair. They're the leader of the section for sure. And I in marching band, but my spot in like jazz band, which I really like to do, is I like to be second chair. The reason why is because that's the solo chair.
You get to do a little bit more. You get to show off.
You get to improvise. Yeah. So that was what I really like to do.
That's dope right there.
Play that. So, and also any of the chairs were fine with me as long as I was part of it. So. And that's more of in a big band setting. If you're in a combo, there's not really like a chair. Combo being like individual instruments with like a drummer and a pianist or something. But yeah, and I did that for a long time and into college. And college is where I found out that being a starving musician is very tough. And, like
welcome to the club.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm taking on all these massive student loans to do junior college, and then maybe going into another school, and I'm playing music, but I'm working a very 22 hours a week job, and how am I paying for all my life? And I got to the point where I was like, I had to figure out how to shift gears, and I really actually cut off the trumpet, and I don't play it at all anymore or anything like that. So
that skill always stays with you.
Kind of. I mean, you have an embouchure when you play brass instruments, and it's a muscle. So it's like if you don't work it out, it goes away.
It's true.
It's totally gone. So I was nourishing that muscle, 5 or 6 hours a day sometimes. Some days not at all, but for the most part, I'm practicing 5 or 6 hours a day at that point. And I can't
build up those muscles, like you said.
Yeah, not only build them, but
get
keep
those
them,
lungs.
Keep them up. So but then I found out, man, there's these guys around me that are just running circles. They don't. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
why even try at this point?
It's like you could try, but I'm not that competitive. So I was I'm going to shift gears, and I like cars, so I went into the automotive industry, and
it's a whole other beast, right there.
Whole other beast. So and that's what I do nowadays even. So but I still love music. It's still there. My trumpet, I still have my trumpet. I wouldn't get rid of it.
There you go. Yeah, that's your baby right there. Yeah.
No, I just play bass and guitar and bass or whatever. So
that's dope right there.
Definitely.
So Cristin, at what point do you start writing your own music? Because one thing is you singing somebody else's music, right? Like in church, but at what point were you like, hey, you know what? I could probably do this. I could start writing some lyrics over here.
So as it happened, when Jaron and I first started the band, he kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone with that.
How so?
Well, I had never written my own music before.
Okay.
And he asked me if I had, and I said, of course, no. And he's like, do you want to try? And I said, well, yeah, but I don't really know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's normal. Yeah.
And so he said, well, I have some riffs that I haven't touched in a decade on an old hard drive, external hard drive. He's like, let me pull a couple of those and shoot them over to you and just see what happens. And I mean, that's how Nothing to Prove ultimately came to be. All of those songs are his old riffs that we turned into songs together. So yeah, I don't know. That was the moment, I suppose. And then from there, it's been kind of interesting to just navigate what my own writing style is.
Yeah, at that time, because you have no idea.
Exactly. Well, and I think that speaks to like kind of the difference in our music up to this point, because Nothing to Prove, obviously Jaron's riffs, it has a particular kind of swing to it, right? And then of course, you know, melody, lyrics, and bass that I added to it. But then for like Utopia and Dystopia, when we released that one, Medka had joined the band at that point, and we started playing with some of my songs that I had written, and it was so cool to work in Medka's back house and like a close setting, right? Where, because when you write music, it's like it's kind of vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So you have to share that,
putting yourself out there,
right? Like especially in a space where you're evolving it, you have to put it in a safe space with people you trust and like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, to give feedback too.
Yeah.
So it was really cool though to be in that setting with Medka, because I think we really started to like cultivate our own working relationship when it comes to music. Medka is an amazing producer.
Yeah.
Like, no, really. He has a great eye for like composition of a piece to be like, oh, it needs something here. Like it needs a build here. And, you know, it needs an accent. This needs a pull back. This, you know, the types of things where like, especially for me being brand new to writing music and producing music, right? That was a beautiful experience.
Oh, that's completely different. I mean, he was in orchestra since he was 5. He knows notes that we've never even heard of, you know, which adds a lot, really. It does add a lot.
Totally. And so that one, you know, was an evolution of that part too. So like you can kind of hear that in where the songs go as well. And at that point we were working with Cesario on the drums, which is huge. He's
Shout
amazing.
out Cesario for real.
But also some of the things that I think he was having fun in the process too of all of this, and helping us, you know, kind of really get the right direction of where we were going with kind of all of the dreamy, you know, ambiance that EP brings. But anyway, Demons, right? I'm most proud of at this point because they're all my songs. I led production, and it was kind of like coming to a place of I'm putting the things that I have learned together from these last couple of EPs and applying it in a way that feels authentic to me.
All right. That's a whole production. I think look, shout out Brian. He's involved in this, and he already knows, you know, I've interviewed Brian plenty of times, right? Studios, and this is like a whole production at this point, right? Yeah. But let's take it back from the beginning, because you're skipping a lot of the story here, okay? Then we're going to get to that too, though. So they send you a riff, right? Let's go back to the beginning. You've never written a song before.
Yeah.
So what do you do with this riff? Take me into your brain. What's moving in there for you to start writing a story? You know what I mean? To this riff, because you got a canvas now, but you got to throw some paint on that thing.
So to be clear, though, so he would send like 3 or 4, 5.
Okay.
So the start of it would be press play, right? And you go through all of those. And what I did was I would mark 2 that I liked the most. Put the other ones just in a subfolder, like deal with that later.
Yeah.
Then I would go back to the other 2 and like play the one a few times in and just like walk around my house like humming stuff to try to find like a melody. And then if I couldn't find it easily, I would go to the other one and see if it came more easy.
So you're not rushing it.
Yeah, it's got to be natural too.
Yeah.
And so from there, it was kind of like finding the like rhythm too, like of the melody, so that you could figure out what your lyrics kind of syncopation would be, right?
Nice. Okay.
And then the hardest part probably is like starting to actually write. Sometimes it would be like placeholder stuff.
All right.
Like, I know I want 8 syllables here, so I'm going to put some phrase that's 8 syllables.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's how songwriting goes, technically, right? I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
You're
I mean,
building a puzzle and putting
Totally.
filled in. I mean,
But I like that you're mentioning this because everybody has a different way of doing it. And you're taking us through, for somebody that at that point you weren't writing anything, to creating a story now,
Yeah.
which is, all right. So you got spacers in there, right? Just to fill up that little part.
But then in my heart of hearts, right, I also want to be proud of the lyrics. So I don't want it to be just like, filler words, right?
Yeah,
Like, they
of
don't
course.
mean anything. So, and of course my grandmother's a published poet, so I'm sure this is in my blood to some extent. But like, so trying to write about something that is something experience, like something that can be, how do I say that? Something that someone can relate to, in the sense that, like, if you hear it, it can apply to your life in some way. So broad enough, but not too much. I guess I don't know if any of that makes sense.
No, I get you. I'm with you on there. Yeah.
But with Demons, I feel like that kind of changed throughout the different EPs and the experience of writing. But with Demons, what ended up happening is because the inspiration for all of those songs on there were from memories that I have of like shame, or something, those feelings when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, why the fuck did I do that? Like,
Let me get a pen and write this down.
Pretty much.
But I guess it's an experience that you were going through, right?
Yeah.
So now you have something to write about versus you trying to create something from scratch.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah.
And then trying to paint a picture of some sort. It doesn't have to be one-to-one to the situation, right? Because that's not relatable to everybody.
Yeah.
But being able to take the feeling that you felt and the things you were going through in that moment and like translate that into something that's somewhat more universal, so that other people can feel that feeling and be like, I know that feeling. Like I know that. And because of that, they love the song. And in hindsight, right, I figured out that what I ended up doing was just processing my own emotions, and then this thing that used to be shameful to me or whatever is not anymore. It's now this song that I just, I'm so proud of, right?
That's dope. But it takes time though, right?
100%.
Because I've had this conversation with several artists when I pull one of those songs, right? One of these deep songs. It's like, man, these are things that you write in your diary that just stay there, or you just don't ever tell anybody. But man, how crazy is it that you put it into a song and now everybody gets to hear your deepest, darkest secrets, regrets, and it turns into a hit type shit, right? So
that's what we hope for.
Yeah, that's what you hope for. But is that like liberating to you? Do you feel better once it's out? Okay, now you can't say shit now because now it's like it's out there already, Well,
I think it's cathartic, right? It's like accepting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Has anybody ever come back and be like, hey, that song was about me? Because we're going to get to those songs.
They haven't.
Okay.
I wonder if they contemplate those things, but at the same time.
you would know. You would know it's about you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Screw it, it's out there.
I don't think anything that I've written would be overly poignant to like one person.
Okay.
I try to back it up. That's like when one of your friends had asked like, so is Just Breathe about like smoking weed? And you were like, no. And I was like, well, actually, when I was writing that, I did think about how it would be cool if someone could correlate that. And so I did try to like support that mindset.
Really?
Yeah. So
man, okay, we're going to get into that song. that is funny. So, okay, so let's talk about that. When you have one of the audience member, he comes up to you and say, hey, the song, let's just say Just Breathe, right? It's about weed. When you didn't write it about that, do you correct that? Do you tell them, hey, this is about having a bad day and, just breathe, you'll be better?
No.
Or do you just say, yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
I want people to interpret my music however they interpret it.
Because it's going to happen, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's, after you write a song, after you record a song, it's not really yours anymore. Like people can experience that song in whatever way they're going to in their life, and that's going to have a different meaning to them.
Yeah, that is true. I like that you said that. So with music comes live performances now, okay, which is a whole other beast now.
Yep.
All right. You're used to it already,
A little bit.
But let's say you're writing your own music now. Now you want to put it out there, test it out. See where you're at, right? You book yourself for a live event. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the first time you went on stage and performed. I don't care if it's you were performing somebody else's song, your song, but how was that first experience when you're going up there on stage? It could be 10 people, it could be 50 people, but
is this a church? Is that what that's at?
Well, no, because I think it's a different experience when you perform your own music.
I agree.
It is,
yeah.
I was thinking it's going to be something else. So
yeah.
I'm interested now.
He's like, I'm tuning in.
I'm tuning in.
So take me there. Like take me to that moment where you perform your personal songs now.
So my very first open mic in town was at the Poor House.
All right.
Way out on off of Rosedale.
Fruitvale.
Yeah, Fruitvale-ish area. And it was a very last minute thing. My friend Elise was like, you've been writing music. You need to do an open mic, and then I found one. We're going to go tonight. Like kind of shoved me through the door. Yeah,
right.
Like, kind of shoved me through the door. Which in hindsight, I have told her thank you.
Yeah,
so
sometimes you got to get pushed sometimes. Yeah, because it'll take you longer to take that step. It's not like you're never going to do it, but you always find that excuse, huh? Deep inside your brain, is there something in there? It's like, you know what? Nah, I can't do it. But that's good, though. They threw you out there. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. And I'm sure anyone who's done this can attest that it's terrifying. It's absolutely, it's terrifying. It's like your whole body is like cold for no reason, just. And so then, in those circumstances, you get nervous and you mess up, and one thing that I really loved about that place, because I began to kind of frequent the Poor House every once in a while when they had open mics, because they were so supportive.
Oh, nice.
They'd be like, no, you got this, like clapping for you, just kind of like,
there you go,
help you take a deep breath and just
which does help. It does help a lot.
Yeah, especially when they're nervous. So that was really sweet. And then it just kept being like, that was a tool I had to sharpen for a long time.
Yeah, it does take time.
Yeah.
And you're playing guitar at the same time, right? Which is a whole. It is difficult. People don't realize how difficult it is to sing and play at the same time, right? Did you ever have any difficulty doing that, or? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's why I keep things pretty simple on the guitar for the most part, just rhythm stuff, and I've gotten better. But yeah, it kind of became like a memorize the guitar part so I can focus on the vocal. Like that's. But you're doing multiple things at the same time, which again, and much credit to you, because that isn't a easy skill to. You don't come with that. You have to learn that. You know. Thank you. It is practice, that's for sure. So after the first time that you perform your music live, once it's done already, are you just like, all right, I got it out of my system now, I'm cool now? Are you still nervous? No, I feel like for me anyway, the experience was like release. And there would be like this euphoria after a while. I remember not being able to go to sleep. But, when I got home afterwards. You're still like hyped up pretty much. Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah. Which I think still does. Just it's adrenaline, right?
Yeah,
It
that's
just-
what it is. It's adrenaline.
Yeah.
I get that still from the shows
And
after, like,
dopamine and all
I'm
that
up for
stuff
hours.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you write your music? Are you like a pen and a pad kind of person? Are you on your phone? Like,
This is a good question because I feel like it's evolving, and so it started with pen paper,
all right.
but also sometimes I will take a voice note of a melody. Sometimes I'll actually in my voice notes I just have a whole bunch of them where I like sometimes in like 3 o'clock in the morning roll over from bed and like write 2 lines down and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, because
like,
then you lose it after that.
well, and sometimes that stuff comes to you in the weirdest moments.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
You just and you can't shut it off,
Yeah.
or you miss something really good.
Yeah. And so, isn't it sometimes you're like, I don't even know what this is, but I have to write it down. I guess I'll
100%.
figure out later, you know? Like,
100%. Random 2 lines. I
Yeah.
feel like I have multiple of those in there. But they're so helpful when then
Yeah.
later, like you, Medka, or Fern come in with like a new riff, or hey, I thought this sounded cool off my pedal. And you don't, both of you don't, or all 3 of you don't have no concept of like where you're going with it, right? You just need
Yeah.
something to start with.
Yeah.
So it's fun to just pull something out, be like singing 2 lines randomly and see what happens.
Yeah. Is it different to write music with other artists now? Because now you're working with a team now.
Yeah.
One thing is you doing music by yourself, right? But to have a writing partner, does that help a little bit, kind of relieve a little bit of stress now? Hey, I can't figure this next line, but hey, maybe Medka can do it.
Yes.
No, I would say I'm not good at the lyrics, so that's
All right, so you stay away from that one.
I'm weak, especially Cristin, because she's a master with that stuff. So
all right.
I am a amateur at best.
Yeah,
So
stay away from it.
yeah.
I'm gonna be here with my
I
trumpet.
can rhyme a couple of words. So yes,
There you go.
know,
Give
that's
yourself
it.
credit, man.
That's
Yeah.
it, yes. So, but that's all I can do, and that's something we leave up to the professional over here. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking collaborative lyric writing with you would be very interesting because you would have to get into that with somebody that can relate to what you got going on.
That is
And
true.
So, and that would be kind of tough. You'd have to have some sort of relationship there in a sense. I don't know.
I think so. Someone comes to mind that I'd like to write with in the future, and I think what would be fun for me is someone who's better at like a kind of storytelling, like
Okay.
kind
yeah.
of like a Bruce Springsteen style,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a little more like Jack Kerouac, Ernest Hemingway kind of feel, if that makes any sense at
Yeah,
all.
like they'll bring you into that
Right.
song. It's not just a song that's playing in the background. Now you're emotionally involved in this thing now.
See, because I love that.
Yeah.
But I feel kitschy if I write stuff like that. So, I mean, that's kind of maybe sometime in the future, something I'll pursue
all right.
or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Is there a difference with you writing lyrics on a notepad versus you writing it on your phone?
No.
You think it's the same thing? Am I
think
the only
it's
one
the
that's
same.
crazy that thinks this is more intimate, like me writing on it? Because it's your words, you know what I mean? You're
Well,
physically writing it.
It is. I would argue that it depends what part you're writing at the minute, because if it's something that needs more. I remember with Proceed with Caution, I would stand in my living room and play that song, the chorus, 1 billion times, the chorus over and over, because I could not figure out why it didn't sound right to me for some reason, right? And I remember writing out, like, okay, I'm going to take this one section. So physically write the chorus and then start to make little like marcations, right? Of like, do I want this to go like up? Do I want this to go down at the end? Like, little things.
Are you doing like arrows, lines that
Yeah.
only you understand?
Exactly. And it's just, so as you're going, because you can't do those things on your phone,
You can't, yeah.
And also, they're like little details where like you need to be able to scribble it out and be like, I changed my mind. Make
All right.
it kind of like.
A correction?
He makes it sound easy, right?
I just pictured white out, you know. So, but I don't know. I'm the type of person too that I don't use pencil.
All right.
I'm a pen girl, and
right.
I'd rather scribble it out and just write something next
That's
to it
interesting,
than like erase it. And anyway,
that's cool though, you know. Have you ever dealt with writer's block? How do you get out of that? Give us a secret. What works for you?
well, step away from it, experience life, and don't put so much pressure on yourself, because things like inspiration comes from the strangest of places.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So you might as well continue experiencing your life, because it's going to come. But at the same time, it's important to not let yourself not pick up your guitar. And you know what I mean? Like you still have to force yourself to do, even if you're playing the same songs, even if you force yourself for 5 minutes to just do scales, you know, type of thing. Like you cannot avoid it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Thinking that inspiration needs to strike before I
Doesn't
X, Y,
happen
and
like
Z.
that, yeah.
No. There's something to diligence and motivation to get you there.
I like that you said that too. I heard something that really stuck with me. This artist said that his writer block comes from forcing music.
Okay, that makes
You know what I
sense.
mean? That's different. You know what I mean? But yeah, it makes perfect sense though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't really rush things like that. And it's good to put it away. Like you said, live a little bit of life. Go experience. Go see something different that might spark an idea or something like that. You come back to that track.
What
you know?
if your next best line is describing a sunset that you didn't go see? You know, like
There you go, for real. That is true. I like that. I like that you said that right there. You guys ready to listen to some music?
yes, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
sure.
So just remember that CatBox is available on all streaming platforms. There's 3 albums out there, and I found this bonus one that I want to ask you about. You know, so we're going to get to that. So
Nice.
hell yeah. So the first song I got over here, we're going to take it back from the beginning. How about that?
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we got the first song I got over here is Fallen. What can you tell me about this beautiful track right here?
Fallen. Fallen was one of Jaren's riffs that he
Right.
pulled out of the hard drive.
Oh, wow.
We started writing this in his living room, actually. And I mean, inspiration, cornily enough, is my husband, Eric. That's where
Nice.
that's where majority. Well, it's his song. This is his song. So
I love that right there. That's dope.
But yeah, we early on when we were dating, we went to Joshua Tree a lot, and so imagery for this song, right? Like when I first heard the riff, I just pictured us driving in his really crappy truck with the windows down in the desert, you know.
But you remember those moments, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I remember that feeling. I remember, you know, details about that I kind of want to immortalize in some way, and I tried to
That's beautiful
capture
right
it.
there.
Yeah.
I like that. So this is such a beautiful, romantic, and innocent song about slowly falling in love with somebody. Like the way you write your music in here, man. Wow. I strongly recommend you listen to this song right here, man. If you're one of the romantic people right there, it's a good song to dedicate. It belongs to the people now, right?
Yeah,
Such a beautiful song right there. What did he say when he got to hear this song?
I mean, we haven't actually talked about it, which is
You
funny.
never asked him.
No, well, because
bro.
you know, I think he knows, but like
Yeah.
when I'm gotta, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that, you know.
All right.
It doesn't have to be so. This is about you. This is a, you know, like I said, I want it to be interpreted.
Nice, nice. Is it difficult to sing like an emotional song like this, even though it's a nice romantic song? When you're singing it live, though, does that bring you back to those memories?
I mean, yes, but also the experience, I think, has evolved as we play it live, because now I associate new things with this song, right?
Okay.
Like playing it in certain places with my band. For example, when I hear that, I'm like, oh, I do that now. Like I do that solo on the guitar now, and like
That's
little,
dope.
it's new memories that I have that are added
nice.
to it.
That's nice right there. I like that. I like that right there. That's dope. Such a beautiful song, man. Go ahead and check it out. You know what I mean? It's called Fallen. You know, that's off of your first album. Yeah. That's really good right there. Let's talk about Getting Better.
Oh, goodness.
What can you tell me about this song? What sparked the idea behind this wonderful track?
This song. When I wrote this, I was in my own head a lot about whether or not I should be doing this.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in it.
Like that, because and your brain can be such self-sabotage for real.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a song that I wrote to myself. You know,
all right.
Like white, just don't get caught. Like, just fake it till you make it. Like,
which a lot of us do, yeah. You know?
Yeah. And it felt with Jaren's riff, it felt kind of like sassy, you know?
Yeah, it has that right there, yeah.
And it gave me a bit of confidence that I needed right at the time. So that's where it came from.
That's dope right there. Now, feeling that way, right? These are things, once again, that you wouldn't normally express to the public, right?
Of course.
But putting it on a music now, you feel like I can say this as the singer versus me personally. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. You know, I think, like I said, I think once it's out there, I look back on that with nothing but pride. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any negative connotation to any of it. So like I said, I don't really care how anyone interprets it. I hope they interpret it the way they want to. But yeah.
It was a moment in your life. It's just that one moment right there. Yeah, this is dope right here though. I like this right here. Let's go to the next one right here. We got Desert Love. What can you tell me about this track right here?
So this is a fun one. This was actually the very first song I ever wrote.
This is the one right here, okay?
Yes. And I rewrote it 3 times.
Really? What were the changes? Were you like, this is not emotional enough?
No, it was just I didn't really love the melody lines, and so so I rewrote the words and the melodies 3 times, and you know it really changed as a song. But even at the point when we were recording Utopia and Dystopia, I came to the guys because at this time it was me, Jaren, and Medka.
All right.
And I said, like, I want to put this one on the EP, but I'm not happy with it yet. And so I want to use this as like an opportunity where we collab. Like, we just play and figure out what happens from there. And so, you know, a lot of the dreamscape that you hear is like Medka and Jaren, like Jaren doing his little swoopy doos on the guitar, and then you messing with all the mixing and the production,
which really does make a big difference. Like, you can hear these effects in the background. It adds more to that, huh?
Yeah,
I like that right there. Yeah.
Swirly.
So, you know, on SoundCloud, right? There's this little thing that you click on that says behind the track. All right, so I'm that nerd that reads everything. Okay, so I opened that up. This is what you wrote right here. You said, Desert Love is a vibe, an emotional reverberation depicting the quintessential feeling of remarkable love in an unexpected place. You remember when you wrote that? Was that you?
No, I don't remember.
All right, that's what it says right there on the notes. I'm like, man, you're really getting deep in this one right here.
That's funny. You must have done that before the album release. Right during it, I guess.
I'm sure I wrote that when we were demoing because I had the demos on SoundCloud.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes people, like artists, write that and they just never think that anybody's gonna ever read that. You know, then you got people like me. I'm nosy. I'm going through everything, and you know. But I thought that was pretty cool because you give us a little bit of like a glimpse of what you were going through that time too. You know.
Yeah. Well, and again with the whole, apparently I associate the desert with like dreamy love, you know, because of all of my, you know, my story earlier. But yeah, I don't know. It just, all of this kind of came together in a cool way where, I guess looking back, hindsight, I hear this song and I I think about us collaborating. You
Yeah.
know, like that's
dope right
yeah.
there.
All these moments to make this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at what point do you get involved in this production over here?
Well, this is completely involved at this point.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You went back the first songs that you played. That album, I was not a part of. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was at the CD album release though.
You were there.
I was at that one. Yeah, I was definitely at that. And at that point, I had been watching Cristin and Jaren play individually shows, and I would go to their shows and watch them, and then
Yeah.
I'd be at their show watching them.
Critiquing.
Positive critique.
There you
if
go,
anything.
there you go.
I loved all the songs, and I eventually we became friends through that process, I would say. And you know, Cristin ended up not doing music for a couple of months with Jaren because Jaren's schedule was so busy, of course, summertime, and she got asked to play Fest. And she's like, hey, can you play with me for that? And we did stuff that was CatBox oriented, but more like, I would say, Cristin's
It was
music.
my
It was
originals.
Your originals.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
But, you know, and we played that, and that's where we first played together. And then I
That's
was
dope
able
right
to
there.
jump into CatBox because of that and keep
Nice.
going. And then, and then we immediately started working on this album when I joined, basically. So,
Nice.
and thinking about it. And then I offered to Cristin, I was like, well, I know, like, if you don't mind, I love recording stuff. And we just ended up rolling with it, which was fun. We demoed stuff and it sounded cool. Then the demos turned into something else, which was even cooler. And then we made this.
There you go.
So that's how it was.
I like that right there.
Yeah.
How do you feel that Maker added to the group? Like, what do you think he added to it?
Well, like I said earlier, he's a killer production specialist.
You got that ear for it, huh?
Yeah, the way that he helps with the composition of the music, the way he mixes. I mean, even during practice on the mixer, whenever we're trying to sound good in our in-ears or on the monitors or whatever, like Medka has a crazy good ear for all of that.
These are like little sounds that not the normal ear would listen to.
Yeah.
But it makes a huge difference, right?
100%.
A lot of stuff does. So,
100%.
Yeah, the little
Have you ever felt like you're bringing a song to him and then he just turns it into this
Yeah.
ballad pretty much,
Yeah.
because it comes in different and it comes out completely different.
100%. Like we would go in for tracking and then he'd sit with the tracks for, whatever. And maybe when I did the tracking, I wasn't there when Jaren did his tracking. Maybe it was like that, right? So we kind of didn't hear certain parts of it. And then he'd be like, I dropped a mix in the folder, like check it out and whatever. And, it'd be like, whoa,
I did that. It's amazing, huh? What a good engineer, producer can do. Yeah, that's crazy. You were talking about Just Breathe earlier today. Let's talk about that song right here.
Okay. Just Breathe. So this is one of those that Jaren sent me a riff for, but I think it was a newer one that he had written maybe somewhere after CatBox had already been created.
Yep.
So he
wanna
just,
say yes.
yeah. And so
Modified it to some extent.
something like that, yeah. And so he sent a voice note for this, and I loved it because it's like got that same Jaren swing to it, but at the same time, it's a little funky.
Yeah.
So when I don't remember what was exactly happening in life at that time, but it was something that was super stressful, and so it felt like this was kind of a need, a space for me to process what was going on and tell myself to just breathe. And I remember the chorus being problematic for me, and I remember thinking, he's kind of moving a lot in here, so it feels like I need to make this simpler. And so I was like, what if I just hold a note, do some Rihanna stuff, she's like, da, 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 just holding the one note the whole time, okay, let's see what that sounds like. And I loved it, and I thought that kind of suits the whole just breathe, because it's like a big breath,
It just fit perfect right there, yeah.
Right, super symbolic to what I was trying to convey. And I remember I sent a voice note back to Jaron with a first verse and a chorus on it, and was like, tell me what you think. And he was like, this is perfect because this is exactly how I was, like, similar to what I was thinking when I wrote this. And so it was perfect to, combination. So
Medka, tell me about the production on this track right here.
Yeah, sure. So there's not a ton going on. I will say that this song has definitely like more of a swing to it. Like Getting Better is in that vibe that we listened to earlier. It's got like a little bit more of a swing to it. I will say Cesario's drumming on this adds a lot of in-depth swing and stuff on that. So he did a really good job. Jaron chose to do this one acoustic. There's no electric guitar on it. Really. It's all acoustic, and we just layered his acoustic guitars.
Nice.
And I just played bass, and Cristin sang, and it was very simple. This was actually one of the harder ones to come together with Jaron because he wanted to be simple, I think, but it was a struggle a little bit because he also like wants to make sure it has a cool taste to it also.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how that one came together, and
it's a beautiful track.
I think we did mostly the acoustic, some of the acoustic at your house. Your vocals, I think, from this were at your house.
Yeah.
And I think we did one maybe acoustic track in the drums at my place, and so it came together pretty simply like that. I will say one of my fondest memories of this song is actually not. It's kind of, you could consider it production, but we took a picture set with this particular song, and I don't know if you remember driving around in your car while Eric's hanging out the window, and I'm driving, Eric's taking pictures, and you're taking pictures.
We were trying to come up with the picture for we were trying to decide if we were going to single release it, and to do. Yeah.
So you can, I think that's one of the picture sets on Spotify for when it's like.
Medka was driving the car. My husband was in the back seat with the window rolled down in his camera, and then I was in the front seat, literally hanging out the window, like with my hair like blowing in there. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it hard to come up with ideas like that? Because look, getting into album covers is a whole other situation now, right? What is the right? Yeah. You know what I mean? What tells the story, right, of what you're about to listen to?
100%. And like, so I am blessed in my situation because I'm surrounded by people, including my husband, who like, that's his creative outlet. My husband's a videographer. Nice.
All right.
So
shout out to the husband for real.
All right.
Does a lot. Yeah.
Eric's the man.
There you go.
But so because he obviously loves me and cares about me, and this is my like project, right? He's tries to help in the way that he can, right? But I also love that it's through his lens, like not like literally and figuratively, because he's seeing what I'm creating and interpreting it and then turning it into his own version. And like similarly, right, for Demons, we have a friend named Bentley, and that's his job is photography. He's so good at it too. But I remember when we first started recording Demons, and I went up to an open mic in Visalia, and he was there, and we were chatting, and he was like, "How's the record going?" You know, and I said, "It's going really good. Starting to try to figure out visuals, and I have a cool like concept for an idea, because like the songs themselves, as I explained earlier, right? They're like me coming to terms with processing, addressing a memory of shame in some way." And I was telling him how the whole thing of like coming through some of that, I'm realizing that this is just me facing my demons. And so I think I want to call the record Demons. And he was like, "I love that." And he's like, I'm already kind of starting to see something. And we continued talking for a while, and it came up that like I am terrified of water. I have almost drowned like 4 times in my life. So
I can see why you're scared of water.
I just don't want to be like, I'll be like up to here and comfy or in a floaty.
And then your breathing starts kicking in like, oh,
but if it gets deep, I can't.
I've never seen that. I would be impressed. I've never seen it in water.
So who's in the album cover then?
So we're getting there. So
Yeah.
I told this to Ben, but I don't know if he was just like locked in to his idea or what, and like that went above his head. But he's like, I have a great like time went on. He texted me a few days later.
Man.
I have a great idea.
Guess what you're doing tomorrow?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it was scary, but also it was in a pool.
Oh,
it was
man,
in my
that's dope.
mother-in-law's pool.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was able to work with his friend Scott to kind of expand the photo out so it looked like I was in a bigger pool of water than I actually was.
Which is dope right there, yeah.
It's so dope. So
That is cool right there.
all that to tie it back to the fact that like the thing is there is beauty in community and like leaning on your friends who also have a passion, and if you're supportive of each other's passions to like help each other. And so
There you go, yeah.
I'm blessed that, you know, Eric and Ben have been involved in the visuals up to this point. And I love how they see things.
That's cool right there, though. I like that. And you took several different poses, right, on in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen several pictures, different ones. I'm like, oh man! And just hearing the story now, that is crazy. That's crazy. So before we get to the album Demons, right, which is available on all streaming platforms, there's this one song that I found, okay, and I don't think you ever recorded it.
Okay.
Is it on
this-
YouTube?
No, it's called Lost at Sea.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So yeah, we're gonna go there. Tell me about this track. It was recorded live, but
Yes,
how
it
come it
was.
never came out?
Because Jaron moved.
Yeah, that's
Oh man,
the main thing.
are we ever gonna get to hear this studio quality?
Maybe, I suppose.
Such a nice song, yeah.
It-
I'm so weird about that stuff, and I mean, I know this is. I'm like, Kristen's vocals are amazing on this song. Her lyrics are amazing on this song.
Yeah.
This was part of our set before Jaron left, for sure. We played this song quite a few times. I'm not part of this recording. This almost sounds like it's Bakersfield Sound Co., but I'm not 100% sure. But I don't know where this one came from. So, but
I haven't heard this in so long.
Yeah, it's a long time. I know. The way he plays guitar in his songs are. You can't imitate that. You can't recreate that. It's very unique. I shouldn't say that because, I mean, we're in a band with Fernando, and he's a very fantastic musician. And
Everybody has a different style.
you know,
though,
he could learn Jaron's songs and he could play them. They are good, but Jaron's so unique. I feel like, to me, my personal opinion is that like this was a moment in time, and it was a very good moment in time, and it would be hard to recreate at this point without Jaron.
I don't disagree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's beautiful, by the way. It will be like somebody else singing your songs.
Yeah.
They could do it, but it's not going to be the same. Yeah.
I also, when I hear this song too, I just think of that goofy dance that Jaron used to do.
I know. I was thinking the same. Yeah. That's cool. You found this. This is definitely a cut that's out there. That's why I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And
It's such a beautiful song. You know what I mean?
This is what I used to do. I used to go watch these guys and be like, this is so good. Like, and be drawn in like that.
Doesn't it sound like waves? You know, like that's what I thought when I first heard the riff. And I was like, it has to be something about sea, or like, you know, just because that rocking.
The rocking motion.
Yeah.
Yep, that's of course,
That's dope right there. Well, I'm glad this song is out. It's exclusive to SoundCloud. You're going to have to dig in there to find it, but this was a really good song. But
it's on
this
YouTube
really,
also, I believe.
Okay, it's on YouTube
There's
as well.
a couple of YouTube videos if you want to dive in deep. They're on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, yeah, for real.
I'm not really in any of those. This is their Genesis, the original.
Yeah.
There's actually, I will say this, there's a song called Abused Patience on there. That was definitely Bakersfield Sound Co. That was the first time I ever saw these guys play, ever.
Oh, nice,
and that song freaking captured me. Like, I was like, whoa, these guys are amazing. So the lyrics, everything.
That's dope.
So, yeah, that was. I was like, oh my gosh, that dude just ripped the guitar. She totally just nailed badass, scorching vocals. What? Where are these people from?
Hell yeah. Isn't it cool though that you dug their music before you were even in the band?
For sure.
That's fucking hella cool right there. Hell
Yeah. So that's a deep dive. If you want, you can go on the YouTube. There's quite a few things.
Hell yeah,
there.
go ahead and check it out. So we're gonna get into the latest album, Demons. Okay, so we've heard some of the stories, right? Let's play Proceed with Caution. So now we're dealing. This is where Brian comes into the picture, right? What
He was actually he did the first album as well.
Oh really? On the first one? Okay,
he did the first
album
album.
on there. Okay.
Yep. Nothing to Prove is Brian. So
how is why is Brian the right person to take your music to? Because you're trusting somebody now with your vision now.
So that's a great question. Having worked with Brian on Nothing to Prove, he's wonderful. Like,
yeah, he played the drums on that one too.
Yes, he helped us out with drums.
This is back to Cesario now.
But Brian is really good about asking the right questions in the right way to allow you full control of the decisions. Which is not always the case, right, with engineers, right? Because everyone has their own opinion of things. But Brian legit wants you to think about it and make a decision and be happy with it, you know? And so I perceived that from Nothing to Prove working with him. So obviously Demons being as important as it is / was to me, right? For this is my baby. This is my first one with all my songs. Like, I'm producing it. I want someone that I trust going into it, right?
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be happy with it in the end.
That you could trust, yeah.
So it was, it was Brian.
This album has so much attitude compared to the other ones. Like, you had a lot going on, huh? You just wanted to get out.
I mean, yeah. Considering the circumstances too, it's like facing your demons with a freaking vengeance, right? Like standing up with the sword and just going for it.
I love that right there. You were able to.
I think that attitude also came from within a little bit because perseverance. Because what we were facing a problem with Jaron leaving.
That's true.
And we didn't know if CatBox would continue. We didn't know a lot of stuff. And finally, Cristin was like, "Flip the switch. I'm on. Demons is coming out." Boom. And it was just like she was on a mission.
You're totally right.
So we lose a member before you started working on this album.
Yes.
So that once again, we're talking off air about that.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in bands, right? It does happen.
Life.
I mean, and that's how we learn, though. I mean, the vision doesn't stop, though. You got to keep pushing.
Totally.
That's what happens.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with why we put this together quickly, and we wanted Brian to do it because he has a space to be comfortable to create in, and he's very reciprocative. That's not a word. He knows how to reciprocate.
It is now.
It is now. Yeah. He knows how to reciprocate with artists. He knows how to get stuff out and also give input and all that. So he's just very talented. And then I feel like Cristin's these songs are from her influences as well, I would say, in a sense. So, and that's kind of a big forward motion of the rock attitude of this album.
Yeah, you can hear that you're pushing your vocals now. It's fucking incredible right here, man. I really do dig this whole album. It's fucking hella cool.
Thank you.
And once again, working with Brian, I've been in the studio, Studios, while Brian is working with different bands. I'm nosy like that. I just pop up.
That's great.
And the way that he works, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
He's doing 10 different things while eating a salad at the same time. It's crazy.
Exactly. Or carrots, but he zooms.
Carrots,
He zooms through stuff. He's quick keying the whole time. It's kind of wild.
It's crazy to see that, huh? Because once again, you bring your song, which can be it could be like a simple song, a simple idea, but he turns it into this whole thing, this big production. Now we're like, wow, I can't believe I came in with this. Right? I walked out with this right here. That's dope right there. Shout out Brian, for real. He's a broski of the bug.
Oh yeah.
He's been here several times. Yeah, the next song I got over here is Try As I Might.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a different beast on the album.
Oh yeah, man! This one right here, this is where your vocals are just incredible. You got high notes, low notes. You're mixing them all around. You're holding notes. It's just crazy right here. What's the motivation behind this dope ass track here?
Gosh, anger. I guess. Yeah. No, really.
I was still mad at it.
No, but Anger, for sure. Like, that's where the pulsing comes from. That's where, so I wrote this main riff, and of course the lyrics that came along with it. But I remember coming into it recording, I had kind of a specific idea of like, I wanted kind of raging in whatever interpretation that was going to be, right?
Yeah.
And this is actually really fun because this is Fernando kind of making his mark coming into the band, right? Because he's playing guitar on this song. And even in the studio, I think I put him on the spot a little bit because he was going in to start recording, and I was like, no, man, like, this isn't it. Like, this isn't it. And I could see him start to like, oh crap, like. And then he just he was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna try some stuff, you know? And he goes in and like comes up with this, like, you'll hear it at the end, but this
he just goes nuts on it,
and he did this thing on accident where he comes back down from that, and then I think he had some sort of delay on or something where then it like he harmonized with himself, or, you know, I don't know if that was a separate take.
He double-tracked that. They did. I think he double tracked it. He overdubbed it on top of his song.
Okay, well, something was done not purposefully, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I love that.
Yeah, leave that shit in there. Hey, sometimes those little accidents like that are like, dude, that sounds dope. Yeah.
Totally.
Hell yeah.
That's also why you have to leave space when you go in the studio for some of that. Like, plan up to a certain point, right? And then also leave space for creativity, because you never know what's going to come out.
I like that you said that right there, for real. Who's drumming on this one? Is it Cesario or is it
This is Cesario.
Man, he's getting down over there,
Whole
huh?
album. Yeah,
Nice.
He's a big driving force of this song, sounding the way it is. We rehearsed this song to play it live quite a bit, and he was able to really take this song and run with it, and really, like, he's pushing it. He's added a lot of great movement to it.
This whole album will be dope listening to it live. You know, you guys already played some of these tracks already? Man, I could already see the crowd rocking out to this.
They get down.
Hell yeah.
Here's that guitar solo, good old Fernando, rolling. This is that happy accident.
Yeah.
He's using a whole fucking neck, huh?
Kinda, yeah. He's going for it.
Hell yeah, that's dope. That's a dope ass track right there. Once again, you know,
it's a good one.
The whole album is really good. We're just giving you a sneak preview of it. So the last one I got over here is Hypocrite. This is the one that we came in with. What can you tell me about this dope ass track right here, man?
Gosh, this song was, I liked the riff first. I found the riff first, and then I had no idea what it was going to be about. I originally just started writing silly lyrics, like riding around in my Mercedes Benz or something like that, which I don't even own a Mercedes Benz. It was just like,
but it sounded cool.
It was just, I don't know, trying to get syllables. And then, I don't know, this one was fun in the sense that it's not related to a particular memory. It's actually a daydream that I had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of like, because this guy like broke up with me pretty bad at one point in life, and I had this daydream of like, you know, him coming back and like, you know, just begging and wanting me back or whatever, and just being like a hard ass, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're telling your mom, hell no, you messed up.
Yeah.
That is hilarious right there.
I mean, that's what this. That's why it's so fun too.
Yeah, you have fun with those kind of music.
Totally.
That's dope right there. And once again, you know, this album is available everywhere. Go ahead and check it out. We just gave you a sneak preview of it. You know what I mean? This is dope right here. I want to thank you for coming on the show. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure having you guys on the show for real.
Thank you.
And can you let us know where we can find you at on social media? And if there is any upcoming events, go ahead and plug away.
Absolutely. We're available on Instagram at catbox.music. I'm individually at Cristin S Music. And we have all of our shows, information about the band, merch available on our website, which is catboxmusic.com. we've got a lot of shows coming up. In
Which one is
April,
the
May.
next one? The next one
Next
coming
one,
in.
3 Days
we're
in
playing.
Space.
Yeah, we're playing at 3 Days in Space.
All right.
Here in town.
Oh, I saw
music
the flyer.
festival.
Yeah,
Records.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, put on by Killer Kern. But we've also got shows in Tehachapi and Palmdale
Nice.
comon up. So
Hey, Palmdale, shout out.
everything
for reals.
everything on the website. So we hope we see you folks out and
That's dope right
to
there.
hear the songs live.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right, Medka, where can we find you at on social media?
Yeah, sure. You can always get a hold of me through any CatBox means. I mean, Cristin would let me know. I'm certain
They're asking for you again.
She's the coordinator there, so she's definitely
Hell
the person behind the scenes that makes it happen. So my personal Instagram, like I said, is Bakersfield Vintage Music. You can find me there. I have I used to do a lot of like trading with guitar stuff and amplifiers and selling and buying, but it's kind of just been my profile for a long time, and I don't really do that much stuff anymore. I actually, I shouldn't say that. I do it all the time.
I still do.
It's not as like a business or like, to like try and like
Hell yeah.
make money or something. I'm just a gear nerd. So you
go.
can gear nerd with me if you join me there. You can
Damn, there's a
follow
lot
me
going on in there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, have fun. I also wanted to say that you can message me there. You could find me at most shows. I'm always out on the music scene. I love watching people play, and I do also like doing production, and I'm not the best at it or anything in the world. I don't have like a
you
full
are.
studio like
Yeah,
Brian,
you are.
but
I've heard your music already. Yeah, you are.
it's good. I guess.
After hearing that, I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, Brian is a fantastic. There's we have Brian at Om Studios. There's Justin at the Noise Feed. You have there's AP. He does he does a lot of the hip hop and Latin music in town. He's awesome. And then there's Kyle Appleton. There's Emil.
Yeah, but put your name on that list too, man.
Well, if someone wants to work with me, come on in.
There you go.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm more into helping people make their music and put it out there in that regard.
I love that right there.
Yeah, that's it's cool to do it as a business. Those guys are all business oriented. I would recommend to support them 1,000% because that's how they make their living.
Damn,
but if you need like a demo, you want to try something that you haven't ever tried before, let me know, because I try and make that fun for people. So
damn, I love that right there.
Yeah, but that's it. And I'll see you guys out on the music scene. That's for sure. So.
Damn, there you go.
Somewhere.
Thank you once again for coming on the show. It was a pleasure having you on over here. We'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.